Wasting away again. That's the new intro.
Like you.
Collision avoid. All right, we're rolling here this week. Commissar Cadet clocking in. Sadly here without beloved Commissar, who will be dearly missed this week. I'm trying to pick up the slack, so we'll see how it pans out. So let's jump right in. We had an exciting weekend of games. Had a great time watching with everybody who came at Presley's. Thank you for hosting. I appreciate that. Hopefully we can all get together and do that sometime soon again. But definitely enjoyed the experience. Made actually watching something on Sunday more worthwhile than sitting on the couch, mostly alone. So appreciate that. So let's talk about some headlines from this past week. Obviously the biggest news, we have Dak's disgusting injury. It was pretty gross, honestly, seeing it. We were walking right out the door at Presley's and actually came back in because Commissar forgot his water bottle. So came back in and saw that real quick, but absolutely gross. Looks like he's going to be out for a little while. As it pertains to our league, it's a pretty big hit for Mike. His roster has no other quarterback on there. Fortunate for him, as we'll get into, there's a lot of quarterbacks on the waiver wire for him to partake in, but obviously Dak was putting up a lot of points, throwing for a lot of yards, and he's also in a contract year, so it's very difficult for him as well. Obviously, he declined an option to sign with the team this past year, but again, we're always in fan of the player here, so difficult because he was probably going to sign a huge contract after the season, but that's probably the biggest news from this week. Le'Veon Bell was released from the Jets, so he's in search of a new team, but I don't think at the beginning of the season anybody would have necessarily expected that, but they were looking to trade him. Couldn't really find a suitor. Nobody was really looking to buy, so they just dropped him. So he's free to sign with any other team. And the interesting part with this is that the Jets are still on the hook for paying his entire contract. So he can actually sign with another team for the veteran minimum. So he'll earn the veteran minimum plus the contract the Jets are paying, but that allows a lot more teams to sign and work with him, even a team like Patriots. But there's a lot of variety out there now that he has some fluidity in terms of his contract, so we could see him land in a really interesting spot. So for M, definitely keep your eyes on that. Could end up being more profitable for you in the end in terms of points. Chase Claypool, rookie for the Steelers, dropped 4 touchdowns, 7 catches, I think 111 yards. Really big week, obviously something we haven't seen from a rookie in a while. Definitely a guy that you're going to want to have on your team at this point. He's probably the hottest free agent pickup of the week. Again, we'll get into that a little bit more later. But surprising performance. Steelers wide receivers are always a pretty good bet. They always have at least one very successful receiver. So we're definitely, I think everyone should be looking to add him on the roster for the rest of the season. Could be a good pickup, especially with Deontay Johnson kind of facing a little bit of injury. Juju not being as hot as he was in prior years. Could be a good option. Also, another news, Dalvin Cook, hamstring injury, could be tough for him for the rest of the season. He's had problems with his legs in terms of injury before, so this could be something that lingers with him for the rest of the season. Could be in a tough spot for Zach, especially with Melvin Gordon also on his team getting a DUI last night, who may not play this week, could be facing a possible suspension. So he might be in the market for a running back. I would definitely watch your claims on the wire and maybe suggest throw out a trade with him. Could be a good position for that as well. So jumping into the free agent market, who's on the wire for quarterback pickups, obviously mostly directed at Mike, but there's really so many on the market that you can go with that are a good fit. There's a litany of lists. Anybody in the top 6 on the list could be good. I still am a big fan of Herbert. Roethlisberger's on there. I think Stafford's on there, possibly Matt Ryan as well. Can't really go wrong. So I wouldn't worry about that too much, but if you need one, they're there. Running backs. Henderson is obviously the big story for our league this past week. Biggest name on the market, probably commands the biggest amount of points being dropped on him in terms of your budget. Tough go for Marcus, but hey, at least it wasn't Clyde, right? Could have been worse. Should have listened to Commissar, man. Come on. DeAndre Swift, another great pickup, another rookie. I think Kara drafted him, dropped him. Could be a good option out of the market. He definitely could be seeing an uptick in stonk for the rest of the season. I think he's got the right stuff, and he's proving that he's better than the rest of the people in the Lions backfield. So could be somebody to add on your roster if you're looking for a little diversity on the bench. And then Naheem Hines. Cheap fill-in. I mean, he's a good talent for PPR just because he gets a lot of catches. He has a good opportunity. Obviously, Taylor's the star there in the backfield, but I think he could be a cheap fill-in that probably won't get picked up directly this week. Who knows, though? Wide receivers, like I mentioned before, Claypool has got to be the sexiest pick on the market. I mean, huge game, ultimate speedster, has everything you're looking for in a wide receiver. He even ran the ball in for a touchdown. That's probably one of our top picks of the week. Cole Beasley, kind of a steady hand in a field of up and downs. He's the type of guy who's probably not going to blow up on a week-to-week basis, but if you're looking for some consistency, at least 8 to 10 points a week, he's hardly missed that at all this season. And the Bills are rolling right now, so he's definitely a piece of that offense that you might want to get in on if you're looking for a little bit more of a ground floor base. Brandon Cooks popped off this week. He could definitely have more of a role. Their offense is passing a lot. They've lost most of their games so far. They've been down big, so they're going to have to be doing a lot of passing, and he's obviously an option that could be very good. So I would keep your eye out on him. Could be a good pickup. And Laviska Shenault, if you're looking to punch a lottery ticket, he's another rookie that is a gadget player, can play all over the field. Obviously, Jacksonville likes him a lot, and I think his role will grow in the rest of the season. I think we could be seeing a lot more than 10 points a game from him, just because they want him to get involved, and he's probably their most dangerous weapon at this point. So could be something there. And Higgins with T. Higgins on the Bengals. A.J. Green's kind of taken a big step back this season, further back than we thought he would take. And T. Higgins he's got good size, and I think that he can fill that role pretty well. I don't know how much action he's going to get right away, but he's there if you're interested. For tight end, I don't know who's still looking for a tight end, but if you are, Jimmy Graham is your man. He's been getting a lot of action on the Bears, which is very surprising. They started the season with something like 10 tight ends on their roster, and somehow Jimmy Graham, who's been washed for 3 years in Green Bay, is now the guy to go after, but he's been looking good. He's been getting targets. I think he would be the top tight end by far to pick up. Mab is always a fan of Cox. That is Mo Alley, of course, and he's on the Colts. Seems to be getting a good amount of targets. That could be a guy for you as well. And Tanyan on Green Bay. Simple pickup. He's been the highest scoring one on the wire so far. Looks like Green Bay is a great offense this year. So if you're looking for a piece of that, there you go. Kicker, the Miami kicker, Jason Sanders. He's put up the most points on the wire for those who are available right now. Kind of having a good opportunity where the Dolphins can't really punch it in as well as they should be able to. So he's getting a lot of opportunities in the 30 to 50-yard range to kick field goals. But he's been accurate so far, so that could be something. Their offense is on a little bit of a roll at the moment. And also classic old man Mason Crosby. If you're looking for somebody who's been in the game for a long time, who's trying to put up some points week in and week out, Mason Crosby, good pick. And like I said, Green Bay offense is pretty high-powered right now, so could be worth a look. For defense, we're looking at Miami against these really powder-puff Jets. They have no idea where they're going. Could be the worst team in the league right now. And as long as Adam Gase is the head coach, they're really not going to be impressive. So I think there's a good opportunity, especially if Flacco plays another week. He didn't really look impressive at all. Could be an opportunity to start Miami defense with their good secondary. Also, there's a weird mix with the Giants-Redskins game where both teams suck. Alex Smith, it looks like he's going to be a starter for the Redskins. I'm very glad he's back. That was also a big storyline. Should have covered that a little bit more. He had a traumatic injury 2 years ago almost, and almost lost his leg from between the injury, the necrosis. He had to have surgery. They grafted part of his other ankle onto his shin. It was a big mess. There's actually a doc out there on it. It's pretty short. I think it's only like 15 minutes. Worth a watch. Pretty cool about his recovery and the process. And that leg was disgusting. But he's back. It's just like first full week back. The Giants have been absolutely struggling this week. I mean, I can't promise you it's going to be a good start with either one of them, but they're both pretty ugly. So if you're really trying to take a flyer, it could be worth it. And so for this call now, moving on a little bit, we are going to invite Presley on. Should be exciting. Let me give her a call here.
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Nothing. What's up with you?
Oh, crushing the pod, living life, missing the
I wouldn't
Commissar.
expect anything less.
I know it's disappointing. First week you get to be on. There's no Commissar to be praised, but
I know. He's here in spirit, so that's okay.
always bless up to the Commissar. So thank you for being on, like I mentioned. Also thank you for hosting again this past Sunday. Had a great time. I'm sure everybody else did as well. So have to do that again sometime. Maybe with the aforementioned Mott's balls included, apparently.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, how could I forget the Mott's balls? That was totally on me, and just a disappointment, I know.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking forward to seeing Kara eat 2 or 3 pounds of cheese. I think we all were. So, maybe that's something to look forward to, and maybe something we can involve in this dual punishment this week. But before we get to that, I want to talk a little bit about how you're feeling about your team and what your matchup with Marcus was like this past week.
Well, the matchup with Marcus was a total disappointment. I was fully expecting to come out of this week with a win, but Keenan Allen getting hurt in that game really, really did me in, and Alvin Kamara wasn't having his best week. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't his best week, so I think that really hurt me. And I put AJ Green in, and I shouldn't have, and that hurt me too. So
yeah, that was definitely a tough call. Wasn't the worst score we've seen all season, but definitely a bit disappointing. And still, somehow, Marcus just eked it out again, just barely beating you.
Yeah, by 2 points. These close games are killing me. Mm-hmm. But, the snake strikes again.
The snake strikes again. I think you had some choice words for him on Sunday, and I think we all feel very similarly.
Yeah. I said I was going to be really sad if I lost to Marcus. Sorry, Marcus, but really sad. I was really hoping going into overtime and the Saints game would help me out, and it just didn't quite make it over that mark.
I feel you. Kamara also, his soft game lost me another matchup in another league, so I feel your pain there.
Yep.
So now, again, like we mentioned, tie for the least amount of scoring. So I wanted to talk a little bit about punishment ideas, because this is a unique opportunity to see a double punishment, which we may never see again.
I know. It's crazy.
It is pretty crazy, because you never really tie the amount of points in a week anyways with we have 2 decimal places. What's the odds of that happening? And never mind for the least amount. So I would like to see something executed this weekend. I know you guys are getting together on Saturday. So tell me a little bit about your thoughts of what type of punishment do you feel would be suitable that both of you guys could participate in? Because I have some ideas, but I want to see what your thoughts are.
Okay. Well, Mike actually already reached out to both of us and sent us some options. He gave us some options there. A lot has to do with food, which I'm totally okay with. As I said in our group chat, just nothing with the hair. I know Sammy and Zach have a pool, so I was very nervous that I bring that into play. So we're good. But he had a couple of ideas. Chubby, he said paying $5 is not an option this time, and it must be videoed. Live streaming is optional. And he said Chubby Bunny challenge, which is putting marshmallows into your mouth and saying Chubby Bunny until someone can't say it anymore or something like that. Then there's the Oreo challenge, the Saltine challenge, chopstick challenge, dangling donuts, and so this is I got a little confused here. Hold on. And then the loser of whatever challenge has to randomly eat from a can of unlabeled food.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'll send you some screenshots of that. But he also said another idea is to go into Walmart, go into the toy section, put on some boxing gloves, and beat the shit out of each other. And whoever wins, whoever is deemed winner wins.
That is
I don't
also
love that one, but
yeah. So it seems like Mike really is into watching other people suffer in videos with food or drink. So could be a possible Mike fetish alert, but we'll keep our eyes out for that. Yeah, I like all those. I'm pretty comfortable with that. I'm surprised that he took the time and effort to put that together. But yeah, I was thinking an eating challenge or something of the sort. I also had cinnamon challenge on my list. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Been there, done that. I don't know about that.
Yeah, so I was thinking maybe a little bit of a gauntlet. So let's say like you pick one food challenge, whoever completes that first or last, whatever, there's a beer shotgunning, and then maybe another one, and then maybe another beer shotgunning was kind of my thought process. I know that's could be a lot for a $5 value, but this is kind of a historic event, so
I know we got to celebrate it somehow. Yeah, I mean, I'm down. I don't shotgun well, but I will do it.
Mm-hmm. So maybe what if we did like a saltine challenge, which is attempting to eat these 6 saltines in a minute for our viewers who are unfamiliar, and then the loser of that, or maybe both of you, let's do both, for the heck of it, you both will shotgun a beer, and then you try and do the chubby bunny after that, and then also following that, shotgun a beer.
I mean, I'd be down for that. I think I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we could totally incorporate like the loser of that challenge, of both of those challenges, has to like eat from the can of food, whatever Mike was saying. He could explain it better than I can, but
Okay, well, I think we got some good ideas to jump off of there. I will definitely shoot you guys a finalized message once I have permission from my Lord and Savior, the Commissar. So, other than that, good luck with your impending matchup with the undefeated Olox next week. Should be a doozy.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I have a string of bye weeks, so it's going to be a real doozy.
Yeah. But best of luck. Like I said, thank you for calling in on the pod, and also thank you for not rambling or meandering in your conversation.
Of course, of course. You have a great day. Good luck with the rest of the pod.
Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Bye.
Lovely conversation. And that wraps up this week. So hopefully next week we'll see the return of the Commissar. I hope you guys have a lovely week. This is the Commissioner's wish. And that's it. Supreme Leader Pod. Whatever week this is. Bye.